This is incredible. I found out about this recently. I didn't hear about it when it happened. But yeah, I didn't hear about this. I think this was because it was during Hurricane Irma happened in Puerto Rico, or like a little after.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so do you have the article open?
Doesn't want to open.
Doesn't want to open.
No.
Okay, I'll just read through it.
Yeah.
Okay, so title of the article: Controversial key reseller G2A now offering gaming or game key loot crates. Users can make their own crates as well.
Hmm.
So have you heard about this before?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so this article is from September 6th, 2017. Uh, it's on GameDebate.com. But yeah, so basically the article says that the G2A site is starting to sell loot boxes filled with random game keys. So I also have the page of the G2A cases. This is right now, October 10th, 2018. This is still happening on their website. I don't know how. This is disgusting as hell. And it's basically you buy a loot crate from the site. It tells you which games you could possibly get in this loot crate. And you don't pay with your credit card. Well, obviously you do, but you buy loot points. So you buy a G2A Insight currency to then buy these loot boxes.
What the
Which is
shit?
disgusting as hell.
What the shit?
So it gives you the entire library, and then there are some here that say 30 loot points to get 49 games. And then it gives you, if you hover over it and hit an arrow, it tells you all the games that are included that you could possibly get. There's another one that's 15 games for 15 points. There's another one that's another selection of game, 50 games for 10 points. There's another one, I guess, for like bigger AAA games, 28 games for 55 points. And I tried checking in the site to see what the prices would be for buying loot points, but it won't let me unless I sign up with the site and confirm credit card information, so I am not going to do that, especially with G2A. But I do have here an article that states how much they are charging, at least in euros. So I have myself a euro to US dollar converter right here. So as we mentioned, like the first featured top box is 49 games for 30 loot points. That's the featured one, like the more popular one they want to sell the most.
So how do you collect these points again?
You buy them. It's basically microtransactions.
Transactions.
G2A, it's basically microtransactions. So you
God.
bought a currency,
Oh my god.
and then with that currency, you're buying the loot box.
Oh gosh. Oh my god. Me va a dar algo aquí. Oh my gosh, it's
So, okay.
yeah.
Featured one, 30 loot points for 49 games. Random games from this long list of games that are available for this specific box. So, 10 loot points is €1. And €1 right now, this article is from a UK website, so that's why I have it in euros. But in US dollars, it's $1.16. Alright, so with 5 loot points, it would be basically about 50 cents. And then you can also buy up to 240 loot points, which are €24, which come out to like $27.75. Again, these are prices that were taken when this whole thing started in September, so maybe it's changed up till now. I just wish it was gone,
But it's not.
but it's not. So if some people don't know what G2A is, G2A is basically a gray market. You're not buying, it's eBay. It's eBay, it's Craigslist. You're not buying from companies, you're not buying from the site itself. You are buying from some random person in Russia or whatever country, and they pirated a game, or they stole a game, or they got a free game, and they're selling you the license authorization key so that you can get this game on Steam or any other similar platform for PC gaming. And the creators do not see a cent of this. The people that worked on the game that you are buying do not see a single cent for the game that you buy on G2A. And G2A does not care.
Oh my god. How is this website still standing?
That's a great question. And you see the biggest YouTubers and personalities online partnering with G2A because G2A is successful. I don't know why. They have a shitload of money. PewDiePie was sponsored by them for the fucking longest time.
Yeah,
Fucking
I remember that.
insanity.
Yeah.
Recently, Gearbox Studios wanted to do a game with G2A, and recently they wanted to do a game with G2A, the Bulletstorm remastered.
Mm-hmm.
They were signing with G2A to do that, but then everyone was telling them, like, what are you doing? Don't join up with these people. And they just sent them articles and proofs and videos and just information and facts and about the history of everything about G2A. And Gearbox said, like, yeah, this isn't happening then. We're completely separating from G2A. They have nothing to do with anything of ours anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. They wanted to do an edition of the game that was specifically for G2A. So it would be like the G2A version of the Bulletstorm remastered game. And it was just basically to like promote the game.
Okay. How is this still standing?
I have no idea. So I'm looking more into it because of the price of the points, and I'm starting to see I was wrong at the beginning. So how it's going is, you open the crate and you get a set amount of games. So in like the first one, the Loot Raiser, there are 49 games total available, and when you buy it for the 30 loot points, you get like 3 or 5 games. Okay. In that one, the catalog for that one is 49 games, but when you buy it, you get, I guess, 3 games or 5 games. I wouldn't see it going over 3, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just 1 game.
Right.
Because again, this article is from September. I don't know how it's changed till now.
Right.
Because I can't see it because I don't want to give away any information.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, and I'm seeing people comment on articles of this, saying that they spun a box 4 times and got the same exact game 4 times.
That is the
and it was like one, and it's like one of the cheapest games in history right now.
It's a loot
Left 4 Dead 2.
Which one?
Left 4 Dead 2. Like, it's a good game, but it's probably the cheapest game ever right now.
I mean,
We're very, very close. That thing gets like on sale for $2-3.
It is like 2 decades old, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I would probably say 2004 maybe? 2004, 2003?
I think it came once the Dreamcast came out.
Left 4 Dead 2. Left 4 Dead 2 was actually 2009.
2009.
Maybe we're thinking about Left 4 Dead 1. Left 4 Dead 1
No, those are old
was.
arcade games, though.
Oh no, I'm not talking about arcade games. I'm talking about the Valve games, Left 4 Dead, the four-player zombie survival
Ah,
game
that one. Okay, okay,
where you
yeah,
fight like the witch and the tank and the charger.
yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, that is recent. Yeah, it could be a decade old.
Yeah, the first one's definitely a decade old. It was released in 2018. It's coming up on its 10-year anniversary in November. Yeah. But still, it's like a really cheap game because it's one of Valve's like biggest hits, and Valve always sells their games cheap.
Okay.
At least now, like the older ones.
My reaction to all of this, if you're done reading and all, is there more? Is there more shit?
there is more, but it's just basically this person going off on them in their article. So let's not worry about that.
Okay. Holy, oh my god, this is even worse than a video game. You know, microtransactions inside a video game. I mean, G2A is almost kind of famous because they always advertise on Facebook, advertise there on YouTube. They have a lot of advertisements on these kinds of websites that people are into, like social networks. But I cannot get like, how is this still standing with what they are doing right now? So when did you say they started this loot crate microtransaction shit?
September 7th, 2017.
Okay,
So
it was
13 months ago.
Okay.
They've been doing this for 13 months.
So they never said this was like a trial or something that they were going to take in and out. None of that.
They just released it. So what they did was basically copy GOG.com, so Good Old Games. If you want a really good site, if you want something very similar to G2A but actually legal, where they're doing things right, the companies actually benefit from their games being sold how it's supposed to be. GoodOldGames.com is like one of the best sites for it. And they have this system that's very similar to a game being randomly generated from a catalog when you buy a certain amount. But the thing about it is that game, that money that goes into that gets distributed among all the publishers that are in that catalog of that box. So
Okay.
that's to help like smaller companies that have like not as good games or cheap games make a little more throughout that system of loot boxes, and since it doesn't become a big of a loss for other companies that put like higher price games in that catalog.
Oh gosh.
It's actually like a correct moral way.
Yeah, I mean,
When you see, then G2A just saw that and said like, yeah, it's time to make a profit.
it's time to make the cheapest copy ever made. Oh god. D2A is not doing a really good deal here. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think this is like a money get. And I know gamers. We talked this about it earlier. We like to buy a lot of games at the same time. But yeah, we want to like also save our money. You know, we all know that a full game is $60. Now, if you get this deal and you get these kind of loot boxes, right? But you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, it's I always remember the loot boxes on Overwatch or on Paladins, in which you want a hardcore skin and like, man, I want that skin, and you keep on buying loot boxes like crazy, and at the end of the day, You spend more
You
than
just wasted
20.
like 500.
Yeah, like, and you're like, man, and I didn't even get what I wanted. And I'm like here thinking, okay, people need to chill out because microtransactions are here because of us being so uncontrollable of ourselves. You know, we need to, and I'm not saying that I'm telling you what to buy or not. You do whatever you want with your money. But if you're one of those who actually critique, those are in the comments, why are you doing this? Why are you actually supporting this shit? I mean, and I've talked this over and over in previous podcasts. What G2A is doing right now, it's basically stealing.
Yeah, that's
It's
it. That's exactly it. They get a cut of whatever the person wants to sell the game at. It's
mm-hmm,
not even like a set price. You can like select which specific key you want to buy. This isn't from the loot boxes. This is the actual how the site began and how it's done it since the beginning.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's like eBay. You have like multiple listings of different keys of the same game, and some are placed at a higher price, some are placed at a lower price. It's basically like eBay. So whoever has
Mm-hmm.
the lower price for the same thing, it doesn't matter. People are just gonna get the cheapest one,
Yeah, exactly.
and G2A gets a cut of that, and the money just goes to G2A and the person that sold that key, and that's it. The company again does not see a cent from G2A.
Yeah, that is a ripoff. I mean, even for both sides. I mean, for the consumer and for the actual seller, the original one. I mean,
And
but at the same
and
time,
they are.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. At the same time, this is not, for gamers to support. Uh, I can't believe even a whole website got into microtransactions. I thought that GameStop was evil, but this is beyond my what the freaking
oh no,
hell.
GameStop is Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town compared to G2A. G2A is Satan's grandma holding 50 cats in one arm.
Oh my god, the gaming industry is just so freaking.
No, but everyone knows about G2A. Everyone knows about G2A. Like, there's this company. I think the game was Nightwood or Darkwood. It was like a PC. It was very, very like a really scary horror vibe. Like full black, white, gray, just working with shades. It was very like the art in that game was beautiful. Just seemed like it was just like pure pencil, and it was amazing. But it was a survival game, very horror-esque. And what the developer did was he knew that his game was going to be put on G2A because it's obvious. He sent out like review codes, and apparently like people had already like put their review codes to review the game. They decided to just sell them on G2A before the game released. So what he did was, hey, don't buy illegal keys. Don't buy keys that I'm not going to see a cent from. If I'm not going to see a cent from them anyways, go to this link on my site and download my game for free. But if you want to support me, it's going to be on Steam for $25.
Right.
And that was like, people know, like the industry knows, and they are protesting and doing everything they can against G2A, but somehow they're still where they are.
Yeah, we need to stop this shit.
And that just horrifies me, man.
Yeah, it is horrifying, and for us gamers who are look, I'm gonna say a truth right here, and being a gamer is very expensive. Why do I say this? Because consoles are expensive. They are more expensive than just a Blu-ray player, than a DVD player, and almost a freaking TV. If you're buying the console with some couple of games when you start. But then through all the year, let's take for example this year. Um, Starting January, there was um, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. There was
Monster Hunter,
Monster Hunter. There was God of War.
Celeste,
Which one?
Celeste, that indie game that everyone said was the
Yeah,
indie Dark Souls.
yeah, the indie Dark Souls. Yeah, and most of those are $60 plus tax, plus tax, and this is and I'm not even barely half of the year. And a lot of gamers today, this year has been bombing with really good games, finally. And it is expensive. It's $60 and above, even with a deluxe edition, the ultimate edition. That is like $80 or almost $100. Some of them are $100, and it is expensive. And seeing loot boxes and microtransactions, putting it in a greedy way, just like EA, is just toxic. We need to stop this. And I know there's a lot of people who are going to defend this, which I don't actually see anyone actually defend
Yeah,
this.
look, if anyone even tries to defend this right now, okay, if anyone even tries to defend something like this, something like what G2A is doing right now, Jesus Christ, let me try to explain this. People like you who are working and earning hard-earned money to be able to live your life, to pay your rent, to feed yourself and your family, your wife, your girlfriend, your children, your grandkids, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, whoever you're taking care of, whoever depends on you. There is multiple people, entire full teams, companies full of people exactly like you who have the same necessities, the same responsibilities, working on creating these games for you.
Yeah.
G2A does not give them a cent.
Exactly.
These people do not see money for the work that they put into this for you to have, to buy, so that they have a way to feed their family, to clothe their children, to put a roof over everyone that depends on them.
It's like the only way right now is that Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft go against this. Like legit. Or these high companies like Square Enix or Capcom, or these big budgets to take this thing down, this website, just like it hurts, just like they took down MU Paradise. And it just hurts because and we all know it's illegal, to download and pirate games, but they have the rights to get to be jealous of their own stuff and to get money from what they created. It's their decision at the end of the day. I mean, oh my gosh, there's so many factors right now that I'm like, man, G2A is not doing a really. I don't know. It's just, man.
Yeah, there's too many angles to this story, because there's the angle of basically stealing from all the companies. Then there's also the angle of how microtransactions has devolved into something like this.
Yeah.
So there's multiple angles to see this, and they're all just horrifying. Like seeing this microtransactions devolving into something like this. What's next?
Yeah, this could end up in a really ugly way. I mean, to G2A turn into a real monster. I mean, it's already a monster, but it could even get worse from this if they don't get stopped, because this is dangerous right here. As I said earlier, video games are expensive for a reason, and is because of these companies deliver what they could from a video game, and G2A they they did no shit for that video game. They're just selling you a code, the pirated one,
Yeah.
because it's not even theirs. Oh
They're not
my.
even they're not even selling you the code. You're buying the code from a dude in Malaysia or in some island where
Yeah.
it's negative 10 degrees or something. Dude's got like popsicles, icicles coming out of his nostrils or something. Uh, but yeah, he's just like he's selling you that, and G2A is just like, oh, it's just like I'm just gonna like connect to you and you so that y'all have this connection, y'all have a place to do this, but I'm not really interacting with y'all. I'm just like y'all are doing this on this site. That's it. I'm like, hey, this cabin, there's this here cabin here where y'all can make this illegal deal.
Yeah.
I'm just letting y'all know that's there. The door's wide open, everything's unlocked. Y'all do whatever you need to do in that cabin, and I never heard about anything of it. It's basically what G2 does, and it's scummy as hell. Like just the worst.
Yeah, indeed. And of course this um for us gamers, we need to stop buying these things. And I know it's like kind of like, man, I really want it, and I know you want it. It's tempting. We we I am a gamer myself. I get tempted mostly all the time, but sometimes I have to have like that control of myself. And because of these microtransactions exist, is because of us too. I mean, I I've talked about this in previous podcasts. If we want to stop this, we need to stop buying it and supporting this kind of shit, because if we're gonna pay microtransactions, then it has to be a free game. Y cuidado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same as I said this in that microtransaction podcast we did a long time ago,
Yeah.
and I'm saying it now because it still counts. Hey, or speak with your wallet.
Wallets. Yeah.
Speak with your wallet. Don't support something that is malpractice, that is bad practice. Microtransactions for cosmetics, like I'll say it, if someone doesn't agree with fully cosmetics, like doesn't affect gameplay at all type microtransactions, then that's them. I feel it's totally fine. That's just, it doesn't give you an edge over anything. It's just you wanting to support the people and wanting your character to look different. So it's just a way of supporting the company more with their game.
Exactly.
Showing that you really do love this game, so you give money to the company to see it stay alive.
Exactly.
But
the point. Yeah.
the next level of it was too much for me, was the fact of doing microtransactions to gain a boost, get better weapons that someone else that doesn't buy anything might not get.
The pay to win.
Yeah, just basically making your game pay to win. The next step of it, like in the most recent WWE game, WWE 2K18, where in the single player mode you had loot boxes that you could either buy or you could earn, but at a very slow pace. And cosmetic items and move sets, moves that you could assign to your character to use, were locked behind loot boxes. So you did not have all the move sets available for your character. So you might not get your favorite finisher for your character until you either dish out a lot of cash to buy a lot of boxes to hopefully get it.
Indeed.
And now this.
This
And now
manipulation needs to stop.
G2A.
Yeah, this manipulation needs to stop. And if you want to buy games online from a legit other website that's not G2A, there's Play Asia. I mean, and I know Play Asia sometimes is really expensive, but it's legit, and they sometimes have these low prices too. I mean,
Mhm.
I buy games from there too. Those kind of Japanese games that are not yet released here in America, and I buy them. And you know, that is one kind uh, of not supporting GTA. Like, go to other websites, legitimately, those kinds of websites, and just ditch G2A. I mean, don't support this shit. And we need to, us gamers, we need to stop what we created. Most of it.
Yeah, there's places that are fully legal. You can buy games to support the companies. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
companies have their own shops
Exactly.
where you can go. Uplay, Origin, BattleNet. Steam is obviously like
Of
the
course.
most
Yeah.
known thing for this. There's also the really good sites that are fully legal. They let you know exactly where everything's going. Chrono.gg, they partner with Twitch people and companies, and they just have one game on a good discount for 24 hours. That game changes with who it's sponsored with each day. They just sell one game for 24 hours a day,
Indeed.
and that's all they do. Big other sites that do this, that do like good things, that actually do things legally and support people. Gamersgate, One Play, Good Old Games, which I mentioned earlier. Bigger ones, the Humble Bundle and Green Man Gaming. Humble Bundle, like those people know what they're doing. They also have like their shop aside from like the bundles that you would get for like different set prices that you would donate. They also have like their own shop with sales and full price games and everything.
Right. Well, people, we've reached 30 minutes, and I hope you like this video. If you have other opinions, please comment below. Um, and yeah, screw microtransactions. Go to other websites. Please don't forget to favorite, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel. This has been Zyberpunky.
And Dids, thank you guys for tuning in. And if there are any topics that you'd like to see us talk about, or if there are any weird articles or interesting articles, or maybe something similar like this, or maybe like more of a positive spin, let us know. Either contact us on Discord, Twitter, or in the comment section below.
Indeed.
And we'll see about getting into that.
All right. And I'll see you guys later.
Farewell.